We're going to do some research into Thomas Matthews of South Shields, whose gravestone I found when I was there visiting Durham. This is a picture of it. We can see what it says here. Here lies buried Thomas Matthews, who died the 28th of December 1727, aged 69, and 10 of his children. Also Isabel, his daughter, wife of Gerrard Anderson, who died the 18th of June, something, aged something. I can't see that. Then I think this must say, maybe that's also Elizabeth, I think it probably says, wife, and then I can't read the rest. So we're going to try and find out who was Thomas Matthews and who were these 10 children. Did he only have one surviving child out of all of those? Let's see what we can find out about him. I put his details into my family tree, the 4MFH family tree on Ancestry. I'm going to do a quick edit because we need to put in when he died. And when does it say he died? The 28th of December 1727. Now obviously we know the death date here. If we were looking at the burial register, it would say the date he was buried, not the date he died. So we only know this from other sources like gravestones, and lots of people didn't have gravestones or they don't survive. So let's put that in. So the 28th of December 1727. He was 69. So born about 1657 to 1658. Now I'm going to assume that he was born in Durham, but I don't know that yet. So I'm going to put in Durham, England, assumed. This is my notebook, or one of my notebooks. This is the one that I wrote in when I was up in South Shields. And so just looking at the details about the registers, the parish registers begin in 1653. They don't survive for before then. And the bishop's transcripts, which were the copy of the registers sent to, well, the bishop, that begins in 1763. So if he was born in South Shields, we might be able to find his baptism because he was born after the parish register survived. 1653 was just following the English Civil War, all around that time, so perhaps that's why the registers were lost. So let's save him in there. Now I made a little note just in my little notebook when I was doing it. The only thing I found out from him, just from my little notes when I was up in South Shields, because I obviously must have looked on my phone, I've just said his will survives, showing he was a butcher, right? So I know his will. That's the only thing I know about him. So everything else we're going to discover together as we look to find out about the Matthews family. So let's add in the other things we know from here. So we've got a daughter, Isabel, who became Ann Anderson. So let's add in her. And also I think his wife, because I think that says also Elizabeth, wife of the above, I think it says. But I can't read the rest of it. So I think his wife was Elizabeth. So let's add in her. When I don't know what the name was, I just put in sort of 5 underscores. And then I always use the pipe, and I always put in the married name as well. Now this is not what a lot of people do in genealogy. They will insist that you only use the maiden name or the single name or whatever you're going to say. But I always put in the married name too. Some people could marry 3 times or more. Some people only use their maiden name for a really short period of their life. If you watch Who Do You Think You Are, they will put the father and the mother's names under the name that they went under. I know that purists will not like it, but it helps me to identify more clearly what the surnames of someone were if they had multiple names. Sometimes people change their names. Sometimes people may have anglicised their names. One of the families we're going to be looking at in future episodes is the Lepine family. Lepine is Thorn, so some of the people knew themselves by Lepine in the French way, Thorn in the English way, and so I just use both here. So look, you might not like to do this, and you may think it's wrong, and that is fine, right? So do what works for you, but this works for me. So let's put that in here. There's Elizabeth. Now then we need to add in this daughter. because we know that we've got a daughter, and we know that the child was known as Isabel Anderson. So I've got Mathew, so I'm going to put in Anderson there as well. I don't know when she died, because I can't read it on the stone. I can't see it, can I? Oh, I know she died on the 18th of June, but no idea when. Yes, it's an invalid month because I don't know what the year is yet. And her husband was, what was the name of the husband? Gerrard Anderson. There we go. Now we also know that Thomas and his wife, they had 10 children. So just for now, I'm going to put in that they were unknown. We know that they died, well, in or before 1727. Let's put that in there. So that's what we know. Now, let's just have a look at our Thomas. Now, I know his will survives because I found it when I did my notes. And yeah, I know he was a butcher, but we need to find that now. What will was that under? Was it under an index? Will survives showing he was a butcher. This is the North East Inheritance Database for the before 1858 Durham Probate wills at Durham University. There's a will for Thomas Matthews, butcher of South Shields, also spelt Mathew. Date of probate 5th of April 1728. And then there's also Thomas Matthews, butcher of North Shields, which is there. So I wonder if that's his son. That looks like it could be his son. So let's have a look at this will. Will dated 1st of June 1727. This is definitely him. There's the registered copy of the will. Then there's the will bond. So let's have a little look at these documents. What is this one here? This is on Family Search. Okay, so I, Thomas Matthews of South Shields, in the County of Durham, butcher, being weakened body, but of sound disposing memory. Just looking for the names here. This word that we always see in documents, a bit like houses. In a future episode, you will see me Googling this to find out how we actually pronounce it, and I've forgotten. Isn't it Messuage? I think it is it? Messuage. Let's listen to it.
Messuage.
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 Messuage. Yeah, Messuage.
Messuage.
Yeah, you'll hear me pronouncing that incorrectly as well.
Messuage.
Messuages. Okay, Messuages. It's a bit like sandwiches, isn't it? So we've got some names here. I give and devise unto my son Robert Matthews. Okay, so he's talking about the property. We're not really looking at the property here. This is something we could look at again if we want to, but we've got Robert Matthews is one of them. So they had a lot of children, didn't they? So let's put in Robert because he's the son, and we know that he died after 1727 because that's the date of the will. I'm going to say Durham, England. Assumed. I don't know for sure, but that's what I'm going to put in for now. Right. Then who else can we find in this will? Robert. I'll give it unto my son Thomas Matthews there. So there was a son Thomas. So I think we can be pretty sure that that 1756 one is going to be his son, as he's got the same name as a butcher, isn't he? So for now I'm going to put that in as a relative. This is the date of probate from that document, and I'm assuming he died at North Shields. To my said son Thomas Matthews. To my son Robert. Robert and Thomas. Right, I give and devise unto my daughter. That's Burdon, or Burdon, is it? So Ann Burdon. Okay, so there's an Anne. Something's already telling me here that maybe Thomas had 2 wives, because if you've got the 10 children on the gravestone, plus Isabel, Anne, Thomas and Robert, that's 14. It feels like this might be from 2 marriages, is what I'm getting feeling, but it might not be. Let's see. Who else have we got? Said daughter Ann Burdon. Okay, hold until 2 children of my said daughter. So there were 2 children there. And to my grandson Thomas Matthews, son of my said son Robert Matthews. So 2 children Burdon here for her. Oh, we should add a husband, don't we, here? Spouse. We don't know what the name of this person was. There we go. And then we can add Robert. Well, oh, we could add Robert. Robert must have had a wife then. So let's add the spouse. So we're just filling out the tree a little bit, but this Isabel, she doesn't seem to be in the will, so she must have died. The probate was the 5th of April 1728, so this is him. Let's start to add in some of the facts. It was proved at Durham. And we've got his will here. The 1st of June it was dated. I'm just copying the family search page details just so then I can easily access it if I ever come back to him. I think they're actually in the Durham University. Now let me just see, who was it witnessed by? The names of the people are quite interesting, and look, we've got his signature here as well, so we could sign his name and his seal there, but he signs Mathew. He doesn't say Matthews, so I just need to do a quick edit, and I'm going to put in Mathew and just write a little note on here. Well, he was aged 69 on gravestone, signed name Tom Mathew. I just don't understand what happened to Isabel Matthews then. She must have died. Okay, let's see what other documents we've got here. So registered copy of will. This is the registered copy. This is the will register. Okay, so this is just, oh, I see. This is like the Canterbury ones where everything has been copied into the books, isn't it, here? I see. But we've already seen the original will. So that's fine. So I don't need to worry about that. But we've then got the will bond. Let's have a quick look at this. This was the 5th of April. Is this on the right page? I'm just trying to see if this is the... I know this isn't on the right page. You have to find the right page. Okay, yeah, I'm not really worried about that so much now. And we also know that he was a butcher, don't we? So we can add that in as an occupation. Butcher. I'll just put will as the reference, and then I can also add in the residence. There we go. We are filling this out a bit about him, but I'm now pretty sure that this is the son. Oh no, renunciation. Oh, this is not a will then, is it? Must be letter of administration, I think. Let's just assume that this is him. Date of assumed probate, is that the date? There's a second page actually to this will. It must just be the cover page. Let me just see what this bit says. It's just the fact that it proves the will here. So 5th of April 1728. Right, this is interesting though, because it says here, this is in Latin, but the will states that his wife was executor or executrix, and this says Jana, this is Jane Matthews, widow, sole executor. So I think he did have a second wife. That's what I thought. That's what it looks like to me. So if that is correct, he had another wife. Hopefully we'll be able to find these marriages to prove this. She died after 1728 because she proved the will. I'm assuming that she's going to have been in South Shields as well. I don't know for sure. There's the 2 spouses. See, now if on the Ancestry family tree, when you've got this, I can only see one wife. If you click on the little round circle there, click on that, and then I change the grey here to blue, just slide across, I then can see both wives. But some of these children then are going to be probably to Jane, is what I'm suspecting. Right, so what we now need to look at is the parish registers to try and work some of this out.